Welcome back, guys, to my Villa May Plantation, Florida, with Ilan from Inside Fighting and Sifu Milos Doctor today. Today we're going to talk about that is really almost impossible to defend a slap. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's really hard to see a slap coming.
Yeah, and you see, that's it. It's even sometimes too late to flinch.
Yeah, I didn't even react to it.
And this is when students ask me, Sifu, are you able to defend a slap? I always say no. And I would never be so cocky to say, oh no, I can. But there is an opportunity. So I invented, this is since 2008, my own self-defense system. So I have a self-defense system 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 4 is against the slap. So I go first with a mutual movement of a person that sees or recognizes and slap on time, which is almost impossible, okay? Mm-hmm. So if he gives me a slap, people love to do this, right? So, but from this position, you can't do anything. Bang, yes, okay? So in Wing Chun, we have a backstep movement, okay? And I describe it when you do this, it's like someone pulls your back head backwards with a rope, and now you have to pull your heel backwards to catch your head so you can rest. And at the same time, when he does that, I punch out, and this is how I can come in. That's self-defense 4, okay? But one thing, pump, and this hand has to be a slapping hand, slightly downwards, that he feels before this comes in, that he feels, and here's the slap, and then this, and then this. Okay, you want to try this?
Yeah, what I like is that you're slapping me back. So wait, yeah, so I'm just going boom.
Yes, and with this hand, slaps me back, that's it. Okay?
Okay, so it's boom.
Yes, you see, and I'm almost falling.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of throwing my hand up to, what I'm not doing is getting the back step.
Yes.
So you're going here, boom.
And you see, very important here, when people start to practice slaps, don't move please, they do this. Mm-hmm. And then they stop here. Mm-hmm. That's not the right way. Even we are very polite towards each other, but I do my whole movement, boom. So when he does his thing, he feels, this is what happens if I have no target anymore. Mm-hmm. My slap goes, wham.
Yes.
That's the force of the slap, right?
Yeah. And the lean back to catching your center of gravity is good, because here it's like my reaction was, oh.
Yes.
But then I'm like gonna be off balance. I put my hand out just to keep you away, and then I sink again. I'm back to being balanced. Yeah, I wasn't ready for it all there.
You see? Yeah. And this is even possible in a situation like this. And people love to do this.
A bit, but yeah, at least I protected it. It didn't land clean at all.
Yeah, you see?
It went over my head.
Yes.
And there I wasn't ready at all. I just thought we were talking, which is exactly what's going to happen. So as opposed to eating boom, I read maybe a little bit. It was already being guided over.
And you see, you can tell them if I'm mean to you. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he will hit me anytime I don't defend, and he does a lot of stuff, by the way, where we're just talking, and then he does attack me, and I'm like, oh man, I was not ready at all for that.
Yeah, so if you practice slaps, so I want to like to show you, with you, because we respect each other a lot, how I start to practice with my students, okay? We do it slowly, okay? Slap me, I slap you, you slap me, I slap you, you slap me, the other side. So you have to get used to that, that you don't feel it like in big harsh intimidation anymore, that you just start to work with that as an hurtful strike.
Can I ask you a question about, okay, so I'm comfortable being hit.
Yep.
My question is, do you try and roll with the smack? Like notice when I smacked you, you kept your head still.
Yes, this is just, so what I like to do to test if someone is really slapping. So I try to resist a little bit, if I see if he slaps, okay? But if you would slap me.
Yes, okay, so I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I try and learn to roll with, that's actually how I learn to roll with.
And my point is always, if you slap me, I practice this, okay?
Yes.
I don't practice, pop.
Yes, you come into it almost.
Yes.
Because
so
it cuts the step off a little bit
and
early.
this is bad.
Yeah, because then I'm past it.
Yes.
You better hope you knock me out. And it's hard also because even if that was a punch, right here, it jammed it.
Yeah. So if I want to see if my student or partner is slapping me for real, I just resist a little bit so I can see like, no, that's not a slap. So if it is good slap, he's gonna rock me a little. And then I know, okay, now this is a good practice. Because A good punch is not a punch that stops you. A good punch is I move you all the time. It's with the arm bar, whatever it is. You don't put an arm bar on me and keep me comfortable where I'm comfortable.
Yes. This is not a final submission.
No.
I have to learn to
Yes.
distinct.
That's it. And I go now because of the pain.
Yes.
I
And
mo-
if you never get to that point of training,
No.
you never know what's actually
That's
happening.
it. That's it. So this is my 2 ways of practicing to get used to slaps.
Yeah.
And sometimes what I do, we can do this. I do this to your shoulder. You do this to my shoulder. Okay. And this is to show people how a slap moves the whole body.
Yeah, it does. It moves me.
So, if you would slap me like this in the face,
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, real smack is way harder. We're just
Yeah.
doing it enough to move
Yes,
each other's
yes.
bodies just to show.
So this is something I let my students practice all the time. So you see, they always feel this. They hear the sound, they hear the slap, which is uncomfortable, and then I transfer it to the face, and then back, and then we practice all of this.
So can I say something about smacks?
Of
I feel
course.
like smacks are in many ways more jarring than punches. Smacks often land on the ear a little bit,
Yeah.
so you get a ringing or you go deaf. I've been smacked in the ear. I find also you need less range to generate power for a smack. Smacks are harder to read. Smacks also keep your hand open so you can grab. No risk of breaking your knuckles. And if you develop a heavy smack, like from here, if you learn to sync with your smack, even just from here, I just came up. How far was I?
Yeah.
4 inches. But imagine I'm here, boom, right into your
Guys,
ear.
this hurts.
This hurts. It's crazy how much force you can generate just sinking.
yes, it is.
And it's that whipping. But Wing
Yes.
Chun has very
Yes.
much the same force generation. I learned to smack when I
Yeah.
did something called Silat,
Yeah.
where we would literally act like monkeys and slap the ground full force.
Yeah.
And you just learn like this. And but when you parry a punch, if you have a good smack, boom, and you don't need to change from open hand to closed fist. You're just here, boom,
Yes.
it's already in. It's already in. Anytime you grab me, my hands are already open. It's already back to fluidity.
Yep.
I can't flow with a closed fist.
No.
If I throw a punch,
Oh,
this is
I can.
resistance.
I feel that. I
Yeah,
can.
move me. But if I go like this,
No.
you know what I mean?
Yes,
Now we're
different. Totally different. Totally different. And the interesting thing is, when I ask people who never had experience with fights or a realistic self-defense situation, they had to fight themselves out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell them, you know what, big punching bag is always a good proof. Make a fist and punch as hard as you can. And they always calculate the punch that it might not hit them or bend their wrist too hard.
Mm-hmm.
But when I ask them to do this with an open hand, they go full force.
Yes.
So this is why I like to tell everyone who comes for the first time and wants to learn about self-defense, use the weapon you dare to hit most or with the most power.
Mm-hmm.
Don't create something you're not used to. And interesting, the majority of people, when you see them untrained, they start to hit like this.
Mm-hmm. Hammer fist.
Because
Yeah,
I'm more
throwing.
comfortable to have this here
Yes.
than this. This is you see, this is a trained person.
Yes.
No untrained person does that. So I totally agree with you.
It's also interesting. You look at MMA fighters, how most fights are stopped, right? You accidentally, if we look through injury, it's guys with their hands open. The guy comes and then boom, eye
Yep.
gouge.
Yep.
But if your hands are closed in a street fight, I'd rather just
Yep.
be able to go right here. My hands never have to close. I never have to think about, hey, go from open hand to closed fist.
Yep.
I have to think. I mean, I'm trained, so I don't think about it anymore. But the average person has to close here, as opposed to just, oh, it's already open. It's already open. Right
Yep.
in the ear. I already grabbed. Okay, there's a grab. I don't need to. There's this. There's this. I like smacks.
Me too.
You've made me regain my love of smacks.
I always have a great time with Ilan. Every one of you should train with him to experience. It's always fun time. It's very educating and it's a lot of impact. So you learn a lot, you sweat, you feel pain, which is very important, but you take home a very, very good message.
Thank you.